them everyone else has power.
Can you excuse me for a moment, please?
Okay.
What are the generators?
He told us that he would give us a call back. Well, we received a call, but it was from a public relations firm connected to the company. We're still waiting for a response to why the generators have not been connected and why most of this community just across the street got power back very early this morning, and Ocean Village has not received power. We know that from LIPA, tens of thousands of people still without power, 28,000 of them here on the Rockaway Peninsula, still waiting for answers. But again, going into the third week, no phone service, no electricity, no heat, and for some, no running water. Ted?
And a huge pile of debris. The debris field, if you will, it is just, when you look at the pictures, it is unimaginable. You see the birds on top there. Bottom line, Victor, for these folks in the building behind you, how have they been told when they should expect power? Is there someone going to come and at least plug in the generators?
I mean, it's interesting because we've gone to the people who would have those answers, the management of this building, and said, when will it happen? You saw the exchange. The residents are getting even less than that about when the lights will be put back on. And it's very frustrating. And we went inside that building. And when you walk in down that dark hall, the first thing that hits you before the darkness is the smell when you open the door, because the garbage for some people is just sitting in the hall. 15 days.
Amazing. All right, Victor Blackwell, thank you. Sandy broke records across the mid-Atlantic region, highest surges, most feet of flooding, and here's a new one, the most aid needed ever for the state of New York. The New York Times reports that Governor Andrew Cuomo plans to ask the federal government for $30 billion in disaster aid. And while Sandy's aftermath looks and feels like a hurricane hit, the storm system was actually considered a, quote, post-tropical cyclone when it made landfall. An important difference that New York Senator Charles Schumer says he'll make sure the insurance companies remember. Why? Because Sandy was not a hurricane. People who filed insurance claims will be on the hook for much lower deductibles. CNN's Maribel Aber is here to explain. Maribel, how exactly does it work? Why is it so important that the National Weather Service calls Sandy something other than a hurricane? I guess hurricane is the word you do not want this storm to be labeled if you are a victim.
That's right, Ted. Let's walk through this because, it can get really confusing. For wind damage from a regular storm, homeowners have to pay a deductible of anywhere between $1,000 and $3,000. Now, if the storm is categorized as a hurricane, that number goes up to 1 to 5% of the home's value. So that's still a huge difference in a lot of cases. Senator Schumer says that would put homeowners on the hook for between $15,000 and $27,000 more. Superstorm Sandy made landfall with wind speeds of just 1 mile per hour, so that's below the level that would have been classified the storm as a hurricane.
Senator Schumer sent out this warning to insurers not to fight this cyclone designation. Was there a specific event that triggered him to do so, or it was just doing this out of an abundance of caution?
Well, Ted, Senator Schumer said in a press conference yesterday that he's heard reports of insurance companies trying to change the designation by pressuring the NOAA or challenging this designation in court. Schumer said he's going to make sure that doesn't happen. He said, quote, the state and federal government both classified this storm as a post-tropical cyclone, not a hurricane, and insurance companies shouldn't try to alter reality to save money on the backs of homeowners. And Ted, other politicians, including governors of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, have said they'll make sure nobody has to pay hurricane deductibles for the storm. But the president of the Insurance Information Institute told CNN Money the insurance industry isn't trying to charge it, and individual insurers like Allstate and Liberty Mutual say their customers will not, I say not, have to pay the hurricane deductible.
All right, good news for them. Maribel Aber, thank you. If you want to help storm victims in the Northeast, it is easy to do. Just log on to cnn.com/impact. You'll find all kinds of information on how to contribute to the relief effort. Up next, more than a woman behind the former CIA director, Holly Petraeus. She has stood by her husband for 37 years, and she is a leader in her own right. Stay with us.
I do a lot of research on Angie's List before I do any projects on my own. At Angie's List, you'll find reviews written by people just like you.
I love my contractor, and I am so thankful to Angie's List for bringing us together.
Angie's List. Reviews you can trust.
This is Sheldon. His long day setting up the news starts with arthritis pain and a choice. Take Tylenol or take Aleve, the #1 recommended pain reliever by orthopedic doctors. Just 2 Aleve can keep pain away all day. Back to the news.
I'm only in my 60s. I've got a nice long life ahead. Big plans. So when I found out Medicare doesn't pay all my medical expenses, I looked at my options. Then I got a Medicare supplement insurance plan.
If you're eligible for Medicare, you may know it only covers about 80% of your Part B medical expenses. The rest is up to you. Call now and find out about an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare supplement plans, it helps pick up some of what Medicare doesn't pay and could save you thousands in out-of-pocket costs.
To me, relationships matter. I've been with my doctor for 12 years. Now I know I'll be able to stick with him.
With these types of plans, you'll be able to visit any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients. Plus, there are no networks, and you never need a referral to see a specialist. So don't wait. Call now and request this free decision guide to help you better understand Medicare and which AARP Medicare supplement plan might be best for you. There's a wide range to choose from.
We love to travel, and there's so much more to see. So we found a plan that can travel with us anywhere in the country.
Join the millions of people who have already enrolled in the only Medicare supplement insurance plans endorsed by AARP, an organization serving the needs of people 50 and over for generations. Remember, all Medicare supplement insurance plans help cover what Medicare doesn't pay and could save you thousands a year in out-of-pocket costs. Call now to request your free decision guide and learn more about the kinds of plans that will be here for you now and down the road.
I have a lifetime of experience, so I know how important that is.
If you have a DePuy ASR hip implant and you have a claim number from Broadspire, you need to know this. You can and should hire a lawyer to protect your legal rights. Hiring a lawyer will not affect your claim with Broadspire in any way. The ASR hip implant has caused severe injury to many patients. Some even have permanent disability. You may have a substantial claim which will not be compensated by Broadspire. You need to talk to a lawyer. Call for a free consultation.
We're learning more about the affair that brought down CIA Director David Petraeus. A friend tells CNN Petraeus is taking it hard, and he sees his decision to have an affair with Paula Broadwell as a failure. But I want to talk now more about Holly Petraeus, his wife, who until now has been seen by many as the woman behind the man. Our Pentagon correspondent Barbara Starr has spent some time with Holly Petraeus. Barbara, first up, what kind of a woman is Holly Petraeus?
Well, as a correspondent covering military affairs, I have run into Mrs. Petraeus professionally. She is a formidable woman and quite an expert in her own right, Ted. She works in the area of consumer finance protection for military families. She worked for a long time for the Better Business Bureau, now works inside the federal government, and her area is predatory lending, financial practices, financial health for young military families. This is something I've talked to her about. This is something she is an expert in. She just a few weeks ago gave a briefing here in the Pentagon to the press corps. She may not be known much outside of Washington, but inside the circle of military families, very, very highly respected.
Yeah, I read today that she was one of those generals' wives that was accessible and part of the regular folks living day to day. Today we heard that David Petraeus wants to fix his marriage. Has there been any word on how she is reacting to that news? Do you think will she stand by her husband? Do we know?
Well, we don't. I mean, let's be clear. This is a deeply personal, painful, and private matter for Mrs. Petraeus. She does not live her personal life in the public eye, very professional publicly, and simply is not one of those people